I really did enjoy the more emo pop and punk rock fusion that Fireworks put out on this project. A lot of the songs do crescendo into an explosive burst of sounds mixed in with these melodic vocals. I believe that these make the songs very easy to listen to, but also somewhat hyper at times. Some of the songs are just usually hit or miss, where they can go from either a pop-punk anthem to a generic, somewhat reminiscent of a La Dispute track, even though I believe a lot of the negativity for this album falls for the normal cliches and tropes that a new age pop-punk band would have. That positive outweighs the negative. Punk rock outfit Anti-Flag drop another project, and for my second album for Anti-Flag, this is probably my favorite. This is an album full of punk rock stadium hits, and the performances almost feel like you're at a cocaine binge at the Hippodrome. Also, the features are great. My favorites being Jesse Leach of Killswitch Engage, Shane Told of Silverstein, both Tim McIlrath of Rise Against and Brian Baker of Bad Religion on Fight of Our Lives, and the very much needed vocal stylings of Stacey D. Come to Gigi. I get groovy on the whole lot sticks with me. Well, it's a Youngboy album, but at least there's somewhat of a direction and an attempt at a concept. As usual, the music is basically lifeless and a cash grab, or a laundry scheme, whatever you think it at this point.
It's a lunch line. Brody off a bar, don't get blue when it's crunch time. Swerving off the Wakiana, I don't drunk.
Literally every song is the same on this album. His voice drones on through these tracks, and literally Jesus Shuttleworth is the only song I enjoy by him, and that track is better than this whole project. I checked out this album from German symphonic metal outfit Beyond the Black, and I think that this is a pretty well-made project for a newer band, which reminded me a lot of bands such as Lacuna Coil or Epica, not to mention the very catchy guitars throughout. I feel like those are another big highlight in the way that really complement the songs' solos. I checked out this indie rock album from Circa Waves, and I thought it was pretty okay. The beginning of the album was very slow in my opinion, and the songs didn't really start to heat up towards Golden Days, which is about 9 songs in, and you only have about 11 tracks. And it's a shame because I really did see potential in this project, and especially the band. I just feel like there's a little bit more of an identity that needs to be found out, and it's a very much needed thing that Circa Waves needs on their albums. And I basically enjoyed half of the album.
Give a damn and I'm still getting money, I know who I am. Tryna be low, he gon' hit on my gram. If he smart, he gon'
like, am I supposed to find this impressive? I mean, Ice Spice basically just uses other rappers and especially just different drill flows throughout. I mean, she just sounds very generic and manufactured. This is really a big waste of time for only 13 minutes.
His face is still alone. It only helps crawl. Tell you about.
I mean, 7 years was a song, and I guess 2014 contemporary pop music is where this guy is going to stay forever, I guess. Lucas Graham seems like his voice has degraded in quality, which doesn't say much considering from what he is known for. And honestly, the album was more entertaining without Lucas on it. The features basically are the best parts. I know that there is a lot of 50-50 for this album at the moment, but I'm on the side that actually likes Rush. I love the very energetic performances, and the somewhat normal instrumentals at times, but I feel like the vocals complement the instrumentals in a way that provides so much high energy. I also love the just raunchy nature of Måneskin in general, and the lyrics in this album surely shows that, but it's almost reminiscent of a band like Steel Panther or even earlier Deftones, where it's all about the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, extra emphasis on the sex. Måneskin, I think, are one of the most exciting bands in rock music right now, and Rush is definitely going to be a replay in the future. We have Irish post-punk now on this video from the Murder Capital, and I really love the vocals mostly. I don't think any song on here has a bad performance musically or vocally, but that being said, that doesn't make the song subjects to some of them being kind of boring or they may be a little bit slow. I mean, Return My Head I've had on repeat for one of the catchiest but somewhat somber choruses I've heard in a while. Ethel has one of my favorite progressions in any song I've heard in a little bit, and to close this section off, Only Good Things, probably my favorite just for the repetition. The chorus is just absolutely addictive.
Take me on.
This EP was pretty meh for Newfound Glory. For me, the album was either a hit or a flop. The songwriting is like B tier at best, D tier at worst. And the guitar and vocal harmonies, they're just way too good to be missed. But, I mean, it's not really going to be something that, the same negatives I've had with a lot of Trippie's music in the past, but this album is basically Pegasus Part 3, because it's overpacked with a bunch of overcompressed synths mixed in with Trippie's signature wailing style of vocal. Basically, all the songs sound the same and have the same song topics he's rapped about for years. Move on. I think I even rated this sort of low for how high I'm going to talk about it. This is one of the most refreshing pop albums I've heard in a while since maybe Dua Lipa's 2020 project. Dance pop elements are so enjoyable. It's absolutely infectious. Who cares if it's typical pop chord progression? Ava's vocals are made for 80s dance pop, and this new age of dance pop needs to have Ava Max as head of the pack. The bottom half of the album just seems very packed, and they would be better off just not being in there at all. But $1 Million Baby, Sleepwalker, Maybe You're the Problem, Hold Up, Weapons, Dancing's Done, 10 out of 10, if not 9 out of 10 pop songs. Great name for a band, by the way, but this is a Canadian hardcore punk band, and this is a pretty forgettable project. It does contain some great songs, and I do like the growl of the lead singer, even though the instrumentals at times almost fall into a post-rock category. Then again, they are also an experimental rock band, and with experiments, either it works or it doesn't, and in this case, it doesn't.
In the moonlight, escape life.
I was pleasantly surprised by what this album was, considering how vastly normal and tame Yachty has sounded the last few years and just really played it safe. This is a complete change of direction in the tone of Lil Yachty's music and how his music is being presented, and with what I've heard many describe this album as Yachty's Igor. I definitely see the comparisons, but I think Yachty really made his own signature sound on here, and it's some of his best production he's had in years as well. Yachty really just went full experimentation on this project, and honestly, I can't help admire its somewhat ambitious originality. Definitely Yachty's second best project, because I don't think anything can beat that first Lil Boat mixtape.
I got nothing left.
It's a whatever pop album from Sam Smith. I like the percussion on Love Me More, and the performance from Sam is somewhat appealing. I also like the guitar chords and the natural vibrato mix from Sam on How to Cry, and the hymn for Gloria with the whole male opera choir was certainly a refreshing thing to hear with the context of the interludes, but the rest of the album suffers from very generic production mixed in with some of the tracks that just don't work. Not to mention how ungodly the song Give Me is. I don't mind a lot of repetition if it's done well in pop, but this was just an irritating level. And it's weird because I didn't like Unholy at first, but the album in its entirety for the elements of choir added throughout, I feel like Unholy is the closest we got to an actual concept project. Samia is a newer indie band that popped off with her 2020 albums The Baby. I would guess indie rock or indie pop, but her use of instruments are somewhat very unique to all of the songs. Samia's soothing vocals mixed in with her very real songwriting, it really lets her shine as a person and really, lets you sympathize with her songwriting a little bit more, especially as the instrumentals really know how to world build. The gentle piano on Pink Balloon and her vocals are a perfect match, and you can tell that the song itself is also so very fragile. The slow build of Samia's vocals getting more and more broken with her nose really accentuate the emotion on Breathing Song. The title track is also so catchy, and it just makes you bob your head even without even knowing. Dream Song is also a perfect closer with its ethereal elements, and it really lives up to the name. So that's it. That's January for you. That's all the albums I listened to in January. If you guys want to suggest me some albums for February, just let me know down in the comments. I'll make sure to read them. If not, they're probably on my list already. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you later.